Hola chicos. Today we're going to be talking about some irregular verbs in the preterite. So we are in OneNote on the page titled 6.3, Preterite of Regular Verbs. These are the notes that you took last week over regular AR, ER, IR verbs and cargar stars. If we slide over, you will see our first set of irregular verbs, which are Y verbs. These verbs have some spelling changes, which is why they are irregular. So we're just going to dive right in with their conjugations and go from there. So if we have the verb creer, which means to believe, here are its conjugations in the preterite. Creí, creíste, creyó, creímos, and creyeron. There are two things that make this verb irregular. Take a look at the conjugations and tell me what two things make this verb irregular. The two things that make creer irregular are, first off, its accent in the to form and the nosotros form. Regular ER, IR verbs do not have an accent in the to or the nosotros form. The second thing that makes creer irregular is the spelling change down in the third person. The I changes to a Y for both of these verbs. So accents in to and nosotros, as well as the I to Y change in the third person, makes this irregular. And again, the I changes to a Y, which is why both creo and creyeron do not have an I in their conjugation. So two other verbs that conjugate like creer are leer, which means to read. So you get leí, leíste with an accent on the I because it is a Y verb. Leyó with a Y. Leímos, accent on the I because it's a Y verb. Leyeron with an E, or with a Y instead of an I. And then oír, which also means to hear. Oí, oíste, oyó, oímos, oyeron. Again, noticing that the irregularities of this type of verb are the accent in the to and the nosotros form, as well as the Y in the third person. So we have oír, leer, and creer. Those are our three Y verbs that we need to worry about right now. So that takes care of the first set of irregulars. Now, if we change pages in your OneNote, we're going to switch real quick. We're going to jump down to where it says 7.3, Verbos Pequeños. So this is our second set of irregular verbs. This group is known as Verbos Pequeños. As we go through all the irregulars, we're going to learn them in groups. So the first group we just talked about were Y verbs. These are Verbos Pequeños. These are called Verbos Pequeños because their conjugations are very, very short. Let's start with ir and ser. Ir means to go, ser means to be. Take a look at these conjugations. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron for ir, and then ser, fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. What do you notice about the conjugations of ir and ser in the preterite? Ir and ser have the exact same type of conjugation. They have the same forms. So in order to tell the difference, we have to use context clues to help determine whether or not it is ser or ir. So again, those conjugations are fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, and fueron. Last two verbs we're going to talk about as part of this group are dar and ver. Let's start with dar, which means to give. Our conjugations are di, diste, dio, dimos, dieron. And then ver's conjugations are vi, viste, vio, vimos, vieron. So here we go, verbos pequeños. These are called verbos pequeños because they are very, very short. Ir and ser have the same forms, and then dar and ver are very, very similar, the only difference being the first letter of their conjugation. There's something else that all four of these verbs have in common in their conjugations, especially thinking about what happens with regular verbs in the yo form and the ea usted. Normally, all of those verbs have something very, very small on them in those forms. So, the second thing that makes verbos pequeños irregular is the fact that there are no accents anywhere. In any of the forms of verbos pequeños, there are no accents. So that's that. Verbos pequeños, ir, ser, dar, and ver. And then our Y verbs, creer, leer, oír. Not only are you responsible for knowing their conjugations, you should also know what group each of these verbs belong to. Adios.